Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I'm so excited to be back with you today. It is post-Christmas. Other than my office, because I really just am not quite ready to take my tree down yet. Other than my office, all the Christmas is put away. We usually take it down like the day after Christmas. In fact, when we were at church this morning, one of the girls of a very dear friend of mine, she said, let me guess, all your stuff was down on Friday. I said, it was not. We actually waited till yesterday, but it's nice to have it all down and like start the new year with like fresh, clean space. And but we put it up so early that by the time Christmas is done, we're all ready to get it put away. So I just wasn't quite ready to let this guy go yet. I really like the glow of lights in my office, so we'll see how long it stays up. I start infusions I was supposed to start tomorrow, but we've pushed it. Anyway, all that to say, I needed to have it put all away before I start treatment again, because treatment makes me feel like absolute garbage the whole time I'm doing it. So like last, I think I shared this with you in the fall, but I have like extremely low iron and my body doesn't move the iron. So I keep having to do treatments, 4 sets of infusions each time I do it. And usually 4 sets takes like 2 weeks, just with my body can't handle that much iron at one time. So we space it out over 2 weeks. And for the whole 2 weeks, I am taking, oh my gosh, what is the medication that you take for nausea? I can't even think of it, but I'm taking that around the clock. Like it makes me very ill. So I wanted all my Christmas put away before I start treatment again, so that I can know that that's done and I don't have that hanging over my head. So anyway, so all of that to say, it's down. We had a lovely Christmas with our boys. There's just something like I'm not gonna cry. We're like in that sweet spot where we have a sophomore in high school, and not that they'll never come home for Christmas. That's not what I'm saying. I know he will. I pray that we've provided a home that he will want to come home for, some of the holiday season. And in college, they typically come home, and he wants to be a pharmacist, so he'll be in college for a really long time, but it just will look different. And I'm sure we will be so excited about what that looks like. Just for now, like these, like you're physically living in our home, is just very special. So a fellow sophomore mom and I were talking about what that looks like and how you just like hold on to those times. So our middle kiddo built his own computer for Christmas, which was fascinating. He learned like a ton of things. I learned that I just hand over my credit card to my husband and say, I guess, whatever we need. Ugh. Building your own computer is quite costly. And then our youngest little guy he's had a really tough 2 weeks. We thought we would be admitted for Christmas and just prayed all weekend before. We were in the hospital Saturday and Tuesday. And just the whole time we were just praying like, Lord, whatever it is, like if we're in the hospital for Christmas, we'll make the best of it. And if we're home for Christmas, we'll make the best of that. So the Lord did allow us to stay home, which was great. We really cherished that time together. But yeah, it's exhausting. So I'm filming this the Sunday after Christmas. I think I probably won't post it until Tuesday. I might post it tomorrow, but probably more likely Tuesday. So we're all exhausted, but I was just really, really glad and grateful to be home. So he's doing fine. It really is just a bunch of TMI that you don't really want to know about. He's fine. It's nothing like life-threatening or anything like that. It just when, it's just, the body works in such funny ways. And when things don't work properly, that you think have nothing to do with anything else, that is not true. Everything has to coincide with each other. That's how the Lord made it. So we got to keep on track of things. So anyway, with all that being said, so today I thought I would go over a few things. I'm going to go over the Christmas stitching, the little bit of Christmas stitching that I did in December. My mom had pretty major surgery that first like Tuesday of December. Not the week following Thanksgiving, but that next week. Anyway, she had pretty major surgery, and we had a massive snowstorm come in right at the same time, and they live 40 minutes away. So the plan was always that she was going to stay with me the first 2 nights of her after her surgery, and I was going to help take care of her. But then the doctor was like, can you actually stay through the storm? Because I'm afraid you're going to get home and not be able to come back if something is wrong. So I had her for just over a week, and collectively we all took care of her. So not a ton of stitching time there. But then Pearson got sick, so then we were down with him. So I haven't had a ton of stitching time. I did have some really good stitching time yesterday, so I'll share that with you. But anyway, all that to say, I'm gonna go over Christmas stitching. I am gonna go over my Patriotic whips, and in turn talk about my 12 by 12. So if you don't know what 12 by 12 is, I started it in 2019 or 2020. I always get hazy on the year. I need to go back. It's like I have a digital log that I could like look these things up, and I don't do it. But anyway, where I was just finding that I had little kids at that point who didn't stay up all the way to midnight. Now they outlast me greatly. And Tech I was working at all hours of the night, so we didn't really do anything for New Year's. So I thought, I'm gonna do something fun for myself. So I started 12 new projects starting at noon and ending at midnight. I would start one every hour, in hopes that my original plan was that I wouldn't start anything new for the whole year. That was going to be like my every year window to start new things and not start anything new in the year, unless it was like a pre-planned like birthday start or something like that. I did that method for the first 2 years, and then moved to like where I was working on whips during 12 by 12 instead of new starts, because I just got overwhelmed with the amount of starts I had. So anyway, all that to say, 12 by 12 happened, and after the first year, a couple of people caught on and were like, actually that's pretty cool. So I hosted with Pam, Just Keep Stitching, for a couple of years, and we had a great time doing that. We would go live a couple of times on Instagram and share kind of our progress and updates. I did like a bunch, I think I did 4 Flosstubers like throughout the night, went live with them one year. It was like a lot of fun. This year, I really didn't plan anything. December is like my planning for 12 by 12, and I didn't really have time to do any of that. And I thought, you know what, that's going to be fine. And so, in showing you my Patriotic whips, I will in turn talk about 12 by 12. So, but first, let's go over Christmas stuff. So, as you have maybe heard me talk about on this channel, I do something called, do I even have a name for it? I really don't think that I do. I love a good cheesy Hallmark Christmas movie. Love a good cheesy Hallmark Christmas movie. So a couple of years ago, maybe last year, I don't know when it was, I decided that I would pick one project and I would watch cheesy Christmas movies all season long. And while I was watching them, I would work on this one project. So this one project is Joyeux Noel. This is a free pattern from Aurifil. You can go on their website. This is by Susan Aki. You can go on their website and find it. And this year I really did not get to watch a ton of cheesy Christmas movies, but I will show you where I landed. Everything's ironed today. Like, who am I? I made it all the way to the top and back. This fabric is gorgeous. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. So here is where I landed. Let me put some paper behind it so you can see it. So this is all the way to the top till all the way at the bottom, and then I started to fill in, I don't know, some of these things. So not a ton of progress this year, but I really do like this, and it's great just to have something that like I know that I can pull out and start stitching. This fabric is a 46 count from Bee Stitch Me in the color Willow. I love Bee Stitch Me fabric. I have a whole drawer of 46 and some 56 count fabric, and I just honestly love it a lot. So that got a little bit of attention, not a ton, but like I said, it was just busy. Let's see. I want to make sure I put everything away properly so that I don't have a giant mess to clean up when I'm done. Okay, the other thing that I stitched on just a little bit, actually I stitched on this when we were in the hospital this last week. Let me find the right bag for it. This was a Christmas gift from Liz Matthews a couple of years ago. This is Repeat the Sounding Joy by Kathy Barrick. And I just worked on this a little bit while we were in the emergency department. So there's where I'm at for that. I've made it all the way across to this other edge. So I'm working down here. I've made it all the way across now. I just need to go up. So I'm trying to save the swan for like all at one time. Not all at one time, but I want to finish all the water around it, then move to the swan, because I know that I will really enjoy stitching that. Mindless stitching like that, which I would consider that mindless when it's huge chunks of color, just rows back and forth. I love that. I think that's why I know that's why I love houses so much. I love to stitch houses. Okay, we have a little Thanksgiving tradition. The night of Thanksgiving, I shared this with you guys already, but the night of Thanksgiving, we always as a family watch I Heard the Bells. And so I did stitch on this. I think I showed you this. I think I filmed since then, but I've worked on it, I know, a little bit more. So I will show you where I'm at with this. So I am fairly certain that this is the whole, I might have like one more dart up here, but it's lots of color changes, not a ton. But already in this small little section, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors, which is not a ton. It's not like, you know, not dramatic. It's not a ton, but it's a good amount. I think what makes it feel like a ton is that you're only doing like 10 stitches or less and then moving to a different color. So I think that's what makes it feel like that. This is in the cutest little bag, and I have this pattern started. I don't know why I don't have this pattern in this bag, but I don't. It's just in the cutest little bag that is using that Teresa Kogut fabric. So that is darling. Okay, that is all the Christmas stitching that I did. I want to show you two things that I've gotten, two pieces of haul that I've gotten. First, this isn't haul, this was a Christmas gift from my mom for Christmas. It is the Jim Shore Santa. I have had this in my cart, or like in my wish list, for probably 3 years. I just think it's so pretty. And so she bought it for me, and then she said I was gonna like buy all the things that go with it, like all the fabric and the thread and all the things, and didn't realize it's like a full kit. And I have not gotten one of these kits. This is a Design Works kit for Jim Shore. I've never had a kit that has already pre-done the thread for you, like pre-separated, which is so nice. And then I opened it up and I was confused because these numbers don't correlate to the pattern, but always read your pattern instructions. That will just give you a ton of information you didn't know you needed. So I figured it out. I haven't started it yet because I want to, it won't really matter what fabric I do with it because it's all full coverage. But I think the coolest thing, I did not realize, I thought this part was a mat around it, and it is not. It is stitched. So I can pull it out. Yeah, so this is not a mat, that's stitched. So I don't think I'll do that. That's not why I love this piece. I love my favorite part is like this quilt looking thing that's behind him, which is just very Jim Shore. So I'm excited about that. Okay. Okay, when we were in Cincinnati on Tuesday, We did 2 hospital trips that day. One was pre-planned. It was a doctor's appointment at the Liberty campus in Cincinnati. So like that was pre-planned already. While we were there though, I was waiting on a call from his GI team to see if we needed to come in through them. And so we had a couple of hours to wait. So I was like, okay, look, I'm going to give them 2 hours and we'll hang around town. Cause we live an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from the Liberty campus. So I was like, I'll give them 2 hours. If they haven't responded, then we'll go home and we'll have to see about it. So anyway, so I thought, what could I do in Cincinnati but make an extra stop? So when I was there, I saw this on the wall. I'm going to open it so that you can actually see it. This is a Prairie Schooler. I won't start it anytime soon, but I did go ahead and buy all the floss because I was already there and I just needed DMC because it's Prairie Schooler. I think this one is beautiful. I think it's so pretty. Let me make sure it's like focusing. There we go. So I think that one is beautiful, but I saw this one on the wall hanging and framed and thought it was just gorgeous. And it was the day before Christmas Eve and I was very much in the Christmas mindset. Like, oh, what if I'm not home? So I thought I would get it and start it in case we did go to the hospital. We didn't. So I'll save this for something else. So I got all the DMC for that, which I do have just a floss bag of like the Prairie Schooler just uses the same colors all the time, over and over and over again. So if I finish Prairie Schoolers, I just throw that floss. I hate when you give yourself a paper cut. I will just like throw it in this same bag because I'm always going to have a Prairie Schooler or multiples going. So I always have the right floss, but for bigger projects like this, I tend to just grab new ones. So I have all the floss for that and dropping some. Okay, I also picked up 4 skeins of antique lace from Gentle Art, and I have a purpose for this. I don't know if you remember me telling you a few months ago that I was watching Scraps and Linen, I think. No, I can't really remember who I was watching, but they were talking about some pattern that they were working on that gave a really good like wood grain effect. And I have been wanting to start this. I keep forgetting now that my office is opposite of what it is. I need to take everything out. So this is a Plum Street. This I know. I don't love the pink church. Like that's just not, I wouldn't have that. So antique lace, I'm going to do it. And I stitch left to right like most people. And so that's going to be like hopefully my wood grain paneling sort of effect. I want to start this like immediately. It was going to be in my 12 by 12 and then I pivoted on 12 by 12. So we'll see. Maybe this will be my January 1st start. It won't be, but I have that to start because I just think that's so pretty. My dear sweet friend Karen that we go to church with, she is a phenomenal quilter, you guys. Oh my word. She makes some of the most beautiful quilts, and I don't know, like she has a long arm and she just tackled that thing. Like she just knows how to use it now and it's so fun. She's done a lot of practicing. She got to retire last year. I think I told you I made it like a countdown quilting journaling thing because she's a planner like I am. And so her and her husband are literally just the sweetest. And so she started asking me maybe like a month ago about a Mill Hill kit. She was like looking at some cross stitch things and I was like, oh, I have one that you can have. You guys, she already got that done. I gave her the needle workshop of like the Christmas Village pieces, and she handed it to me this morning in church and had already finished the beading and everything. Is that not phenomenal? Like she loved it so much. And so she's been texting me a couple times over like the last month of like looking at this, and her birthday's in February. So she's like building a wish list on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And I've like sent her Flosstubers, like, here, watch this person. And anyway, she's had a lot of fun like being introduced to Flosstube. And I've been immersed in this community for so long now that like getting to live it through someone else who's just excited about it is really, really fun. So all that to say, I don't know, it's just really fun to like have someone. So she's been watching Flosstube, and she texted me, I don't know, maybe like a week ago, and she was like, I cannot believe people have more than one project at a time. Like some of these people have like 100 whips. I can't even believe, because she's been watching all the year-end whip parades. She's like, I can't even believe it. All these people like have more than one whip. And I just like, that would overwhelm me so much, which is funny to me. And I was like, yeah, I kind of have a lot. And she's like, and then there's this whole thing where people start 12 things on New Year's Eve. That's crazy. Who in the world would do that? And I just giggled so much. And I was like, Karen, I started that. That was my thing. So it's really funny to like live that through with her, because that blows her mind. So I love that she's like starting one project at a time. Lord willing, I will get to have a week with her while our husbands go to Pennsylvania like in May. And it is just going to like, we're going to live in pajamas the whole time. We're going to quilt, we're going to cross stitch, we're going to do all the things. And my kids are coming along. They're going to get to have a camp out in their fun camper. It's just going to be a really fun week. So that's kind of exciting to me. Okay. Speaking of 12 by 12, let's go ahead and talk about that. So I've told you what it is, and but I haven't shared what my plans are this year. So my plans this year, we're hosting New Year's Eve again, which is great. I'm so excited about it. So we're hosting teenagers, which is great. And then a sweet family friend of ours, their family's coming over. We're having an emo party. So we're all very pumped. I bought a banner that says, welcome to my pity party. And it's just really fun. We have a good playlist that goes all day. And they know like that I do this cross stitch thing. And so they all play board games at the table while I stitch. It's just a lot of fun. So because 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, I thought, what do I want to do? And I thought at first I was like, oh, well, one of my starts is going to be my blessing sampler for 2026, which I don't know if I have my previous blessing sampler sitting here. Here's one. I think the other one is in my, yeah, I think I've done 2 now, 2 years of blessing samplers. My very first one is over in a thing with, because it's already like got a frame ready to go and I just haven't finished it. Not a frame, a finishing piece. This was my blessing sampler for 2025. Give me grace that precedes, follows, guides, sustains, sanctifies, aids every hour, waste not, want not, 2025. So this was my blessing sampler for this year. I loved that. And so I thought, okay, well, one of my 12 by 12 starts, I'm going to start my blessing sampler. And then I thought, okay, well, I want to make my blessing sampler patriotic so that it kind of marks the start of that. And, you know, being a homeschool family, like we are just really focused on, every 3 years we study U.S. history. So we study ancient history for a year, then we move to old world history, and then we move to U.S. history. And then we complete the cycle over again. So this year is a U.S. history year, which is so fun that was orchestrated that way. It wasn't intentional. It's just fun that way. So again, trying to think about my 12 by 12 plans, I thought, okay, for this video, I needed to pull out all my patriotic whips because I wanted to give you like a patriotic whip parade. And then as I counted them, I was like, wait, I have 7 patriotic whips. Like I'm halfway there if I do this for 12 by 12. So I have 7 patriotic whips and 5 patriotic new starts. And that's how my 12 by 12 is going to go this year. So let me first start with some patriotic whips. My goal in these is just to touch them in the hour work on them a little bit, and then they'll just go into a rotation where I heavily work on them throughout the year. So the first one that I will share with you has a fun little story. Actually not a fun story, a fun plan. So let me, oh, I didn't pull that out. Okay. So this one is called the Equality Sampler, from Plum Street. I'm getting my hoop ready here. So I've got the Equality Sampler from Plum Street. I actually started this as a smalls exchange for StitchCon back in 2021. And I was only doing like this flag and house section here, and I didn't quite finish it and didn't end up doing that. We didn't even end up going to StitchCon that year. That's the year that our son had like massive skull surgery and we didn't end up going. So this just went into my my whips. Well, for Christmas, my mom gifted me one of the jewelry boxes, just a cheap Amazon one. If I can get it open. So just a cutesy little jewelry box, right? Well, it's navy blue. So Christmas night, I was thinking about it and I thought, you know, I put this in my Amazon wish list because I wanted to take it apart and make a stitching case, as everyone does with these now, which is so fun. I think Chelsea from Annie B's is the one who started that, like a little jewelry case into stitching case sort of thing. And I've never made one that I've put stitching. Have I gifted one of these that was Christmas, but I can't remember if I actually put the finish on the front of it. I don't remember. Anyway, all that to say, it's navy blue. And I thought, what if I combine my blessing sampler with 12 by 12 with this and make a stitching case for myself for the year and celebrate the 250th anniversary by working on my Patriotic whips for the year. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use the Equality Sampler. So I have mapped it out a little bit. Now my fabric was already cut, so I had to make sure that I was doing this right. But so I stitched these houses already in this flag, which I'm about to show you. Then I'm taking this section out here, and I'm only, make sure it's focusing. I'm going to stitch this bowl here, and then I changed the verbiage up here because I wanted something a little bit different. So I cut and paste a ton of different things, and now this finish will go right on here when I get it done, and then I will get to make the coolest little stitching case. So all that to say, I want to buy, I have Patriotic fabric, I'm not worried about that, but I want to buy like all the Patriotic accoutrement, if you will. So like scissor fobs, needle minders, like all the stuff that you would throw in your stitching case. I want to buy red, white, and blue stuff. So either send me a message on Instagram of like links and things that you love, or tell me in the comment section. But I just think that would be so fun, and to have it done by January, like by the end of January, so that I have it for the rest of the year, seems like such a fun idea to me. So here is where I'm at with that Equality Sampler. There we go. So I've stitched the houses, stitched the flag. I'm filling this in now. Behind all of these houses is this like blue color, so that will get filled in. Then down here, I do actually have enough room to do that tomato berry bowl and then the little quilting motif. And then up here, I went online. You can see like I've really cut apart everything. So I went online and found a quote that I loved. Just about everything. And it says, so I changed the words, I charted them. I found a free word charting thing. Anyway, found it. The remedy to our nation's moral and spiritual woes must begin at the house of God. So that is going to go above the American flag. And then I will finish that all the way. That's not helpful, is it? So then I'll finish that on the front of that stitching case. So I think that'll be really fun. I had all the floss and everything, so why not combine and kill all the birds with all the stones? So that's that. That was my good stitching I had gotten done yesterday. I finished that flag and started filling in the other part of it. Okay, Okay, some other whips that I have. Oops, that's for that. Sorry. I'll show you what that was. This is so cute. My mom got me this for Christmas. My dad is the manager of Marshalls, like a Marshalls, you know, TJ Maxx Marshalls. Anyway, look what this is a candle warmer. Isn't that so fun? It's so heavy, but that was really fun. So it's sitting on my island because I need to get it plugged in. And anyway, that's what the clanking is. Okay. The next whip that I have is a 12 by 12 start from 2021. This is from Blue Ribbon Designs, called Proud and True. It is a rather large sampler. It's not, I'm being a little bit dramatic. It's not rather large. Let me show you. I am being very dramatic because as soon as I show you this, you're going to be like, calm down. Okay. So here's my progress on that so far. Again, I forget that I have to put something behind this. So here's where I'm at with that. Next, I have words. So I'll work on that for part of 12 by 12. Everything is pressed and ready to go. I will spend the rest of today getting my flosses in order for the new starts, but I'll show you those in a minute. Okay, that one. The next one is a Teresa Kogut. I've had this. Let me see when I started this. Oh, cool. Doesn't even say. This is a Teresa Kogut called This Land. I'm pretty sure I started this in like 2019. And here's where I'm at. I have not pulled this out in ages, so this is where we're at. There we go. So I'll work on that. I really like how much this darker fabric is like popping. So I like it. And I think I did call for flosses on this. This is still when I was like following all the cross stitch rules. It's okay if you don't follow cross stitch rules. Okay, this one was a birthday gift from Liz Matthews in like, it's a birthday wish and a birthday start in 2020. So this is on 36 count Weeks Dye Works. This is the Stars and Stripes tree. I mean, I can definitely get this done in a year. So I'll work on this a little bit during New Year's. This will be like one of my later night starts because it's really just mindless stitching. Your biggest problem is counting, honestly, like counting up. So, but this is on 36 count, so really it's for me, I shouldn't say that, but for me it's not tedious by any means. And again, that's that mindless stitching that I love. This is in a really, really cute So Much to Love bag. I used to get the subscription of So Much to Love, and I truly did love it. Okay. This next whip is something I purchased in 2020 at the Nashville Needlework Market. This is a this is actually a sewing box by Mandy Dodonna, and I am modifying, as you can see by all my mini notes, how many times I've messed this up. So now I have to go back and like fix it. So here I am on that. I need to pull out my boards. I've never had to film with those before. I've only really truly used them for quilting, but I can see that I need to pull them out. So that's a whip. Okay, so that I think was number 5. Sometimes you have really cute So Much to Love project bags. Sometimes you have manila envelopes. Okay. Next whip I started this year. This is Americana Red, And then I have Americana blue to start. It's not going to be one of the new starts for this because I'll get red done before I start blue. And I just saw Americana white. I did not know that existed. So this is Americana red by October House. I have made some changes just because I didn't love the cherries at the bottom. So I'm going to make some changes there and charted that all out. But I started this earlier this year. So I think that is so pretty. This pattern is just gorgeous. The red that I am using, and of course I'm so sorry I do not have the fabric. It's a 40 count color and cotton though, I can tell you. Okay, and the red I chose is Turkish red. I love this red as a Patriotic. It just moves really well into the fabric. So made a little bit of changes and everything there. And when I make changes, I literally do not do anything fancy. I copy, print, cut, tape together grids, like patterns. I'd never cut the original pattern, but I will make copies and like make a whole working copy out of it. So if you're wondering, also, if you're wondering, this is Americana blue. But again, I won't start it until I'm completely finished with red, which knowing me will be quite a while. Oh wait, let me see. Nope, that's for this one. Okay, I was gonna say, oh, it's in flax, but it is not. That's the other one. Let me make sure. Yes, I lied to you. It is 46 count flax. So I plan on, because I have the exact same cut for blue as well. So I love these bags that I think Hobbies of Holly showed us these on her Flosstube, but they have a front pocket and a back pocket so you can keep multiple projects in here. So I just have both of those in there. Okay, my last whip is something I started this year with a friend, and I have not actually heard in a while how far along she is on this. She's got like a monthly goal of like, do this by this month, this by this month. I would love to say that I too have that goal. It is not going well so far because it's me. So this is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I have done a little bit of floss conversion here. I switched out the red to be Turkish red. And did I switch out the blue? Yeah, so the DMC 3777 is supposed to be DMC, and I changed it to Weeks Dye Works Turkish red. Then DMC 3857, I changed it to Indian Summer. I think everything else is the same. Nope, Dolphin. I changed to Blue Heron. So I changed 3 of them. 3777, I changed to Turkish red. 3857, I changed to Indian Summer. And then Dolphin, I changed to Blue Heron, because I really loved this lighter look of this. So here is where I'm at with that. All the way across the the bottom. So I started this maybe in like September, October, and really was monogamous on this for a little bit. And so I really love it. It makes me definitely want to like pull this out and keep working on it, because I do love it. Also, speaking of tape and like taping things together, so this is what like a normal, let me see. Oh, sorry, this is on 46 count properly primitive. I want to show you what I do. Like, I'm so low tech here, you guys. I say that, and my whip planner is the only thing that I use digitally. Is my whip planner on my iPad, which I've shown you guys that before, from Jen Lee Quirks and Stitches. So this is what her thread legend looks like. I made a copy of it with all the symbols and then wrote in my conversions, so that this just travels. I have a little clip, And when I open a pattern, then I just put this at the top so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth, which is kind of nice. It's nice to not flip your pattern back and forth. So, okay. Those are all my Patriotic whips. So that's 7. So I need to narrow down. I've got my starts, I think, that I want to do for the rest of 12 by 12. So I should have 5 starts. So this one goes over here. Okay. I have a couple of books that I'm like, I need to stitch something out of that book. First is this Sweet Land of Liberty by Blackbird Designs. I've got some post-it notes up here at the top of like, I need to start these sooner rather than later. So here's my first option. I love that look. That stand would not be super hard to find, or something round for that to go in. I've never done a round finish, so I'm kind of nervous about that. So there's that one is my first one, and then this other one, I'm like, this is a definite. So this one I'm for sure starting. The round one, I think I'm starting. So that would be number 2. Again, this is just from that book. I don't have any of the flosses together, so I'm just gonna either pull from a stash or pull enough to like get me started. Hey, remember when I was just telling you about my friend Karen and how excited she is getting into cross stitch? She literally just texted me a link to 1-2-3 Stitch. She's looking at fabric, which is fun. Her husband and my husband are becoming dear friends, and he told Marvin, is her husband's name. Marvin told Nathan this morning, your wife is a problem. Like, we're gonna have to cut her off of being friends with Karen. Totally joking, of course. What would they do without us, honestly? Okay, the other book is by Teresa Kogut, and I haven't stitched anything out of this either. This is Broad Stripes and Bright Stars. You guys, if you don't have this book, it's just a stunning book to look at, honestly. So this is so pretty. There's so many good ones. In fact, for the front of my jewelry box, I almost started this one instead of like using a whip. So I just think that one is so pretty. Okay, so my first option here is this one, which would be number 3, like my new start number 3. I just think it's tiny and cute, little pillow, little bowl filler. Okay. And then my number 4 would be this, again with the houses and the stitching. I love this. So I can just imagine this framed sitting somewhere. So there's number 4. Again, this book full of great options. Love this. Okay, and this is my only standalone pattern. I saw this when I stopped in Cincinnati earlier this week in person and thought, you know, I think I have that pattern and I really like it. So I'm also going to do this one as a new start. This one's just DMC though, so I can go to my local quilt store and grab that, and that's not a problem. Or I can pull from stash. Hello. Okay, I'm going to grab something. Not that. Here we are. So also I'm thinking, like, quilt wise, I would like to start a Patriotic quilt. I have one that I need to finish. Let me pull that down because I don't know that I've ever showed you this. I have this beautiful quilt with this gingham backing. I started this forever ago. I don't know if I started this before I had a channel or maybe during. I don't remember, but I need to finish this. And I've already started quilting, but it's one of those quilts that I like decided to do really elaborate quilting before I had a long arm. And you'll know as soon as I see this, as soon as you see it. So it's just this beautiful, like really fun quilt pattern. So I have a lot of quilting to be done on that, but it's a really good size quilt and it would be great for me to just get it done. So I think that will become a focus. What did I do? It's not that I chose elaborate quilting. It's just a lot to wrestle under a domestic machine, but And I have not clipped any of these threads at all. You might be able to see. So for the stripes, I put the wave in and then just a crosshatch here. But in between, to kind of make these pop out a little bit more, I really like matted that down so they're tiny little stripes. So that would be a great one for me to finish. But of course, why finish one when you can start another? My local quilt store, which is Backdoor Quilts, was having a kit sale, 40% off of kits. And I was standing there talking to the owner and I was like, hey, is this kit on sale? She was like, it's not, but you can go ahead and take it on sale, which was really sweet of her. So this is just a 3-yard quilt. You take 3 yards of fabric and you can make this darling. They do a whole series. So I thought this was really, really pretty. And the fabric that is in the kit, like, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then just a blue. It's like, oh, it's Moda Grunge is the blue. And then there's a white with stars on it. So I plan on making that as well. So fun. We'll see. We'll see what gets done. Okay, other plans that I have throughout the year. I have these patterns that I was able to purchase from a stitcher that had passed away. A friend of mine was like de-stashing all of her stuff for her husband. And I bought all of the Blackbird monthly stockings. And the thing that made me sad when I was putting out all my Christmas stuff this year is that I do not have a good headway on Christmas ornaments that I've stitched. I have a bag of them that I keep, and Judy Whitman has given me all of her books so that I can like make progress. So I'm really hoping to make it a goal to work on these this year, to start one every month. And the goal would be to finish them. So I have 12 stockings for next year, but they're small. So I do like them. Like the Blackbird book that has the sampler stockings in it, the little one, they're the same size as this, and I get through those really quickly. So that's my goal. I thought that one of them was Patriotic. It's not. I guess oh wait, there's 3 patterns in here. Wait, are there 3 options for all of them? Guys, my dumb, did I not realize that? Hang on a second. How did I not realize that? Okay, so one of my Patriotic, I'm going to do this one right there. I didn't realize that these patterns all have multiple stockings in them. So let me show you these. These I'm fairly certain are out of print. Okay. Oh, poop. Hang on, I just put them out of order. Here we go. July, there we go. Okay. So this is January, and I'll show you all 3 of them. It's a cute sampler one right there. This is the cover one. That's on, oh, I guess they're all in the Days of Auld Lang Syne. That's a really good New Year's Eve start. That's really cute. Okay, there's January. February says Love is in the Air. So there's that one. I guess it is easier to show them on the back. Yeah. That cutie little one. That sampler one. March in the Daffodils. So there's that one. That one. That one. That's pretty. I really like this Quaker one. This one is April Showers. How did I not realize that there are 3 in each booklet? That with the umbrella, that's cute. I don't know. Okay, this one is called, oh, that one was April Showers, so this one is May Flowers. So there's that first one. This one, come on, focus. It wants to focus on my face, sorry. That one and that one. Cute. Glorious June. Oh my gosh. This will be the one that I will stitch. but also, okay, that will be the one I stitch first, for sure. That looks like a quilt. That's darling. Okay, look at the stork. We have a dear friend at our church that she has had 3 boys and they're pregnant with a girl, and we are just elated. So I might have to stitch that for her as a birth sampler. I don't know. Oh, that stork is darling. Okay. This one is the July one that I just showed you. So that one is the one I'll start. And I really like that one too with the stars. Cute. This one is Sweet August. There are 3 for this one. So there's the first one. There is the second. And there's the third. September has this sampler one, very school-esque. I like it. That motif one. And that guy. Splendid September. This one's called October Harvest. So we have that one. And that one. This one is Thankful November. We have that guy. And oh, I like that one. That's probably the one I'll do. And then that one. Okay. And then Merry December. It literally says on the front of these three stockings for each month. So there's the first one. The second one, and the third one. So pretty. Okay, so those are all of the monthly stockings for Blackbird Designs. So I'm very excited about those. So I'm going to try and fit those into some monthly stitching. What I will probably do is just kind of lay them all out, pick which ones I want, like one from each. And then it doesn't want to like my face anymore. And then what I will do is probably just grab floss that I can use for all of them and pull from the same floss color so they all kind of coordinate. I think that would be pretty cute. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing with this. Okay. I think that that's all that I have to show you. I'm very excited about 12 by 12 in a couple of days. I have 2 people in my house that are keto now. Our oldest has been keto for 4 months, since August, and has lost 27 pounds, which is insane. That child didn't have 27 pounds to lose. So, anyway, so cooking looks a little bit different now. It's just a little bit different. So I'm making some really yummy treats for them for New Year's Eve. And yeah, just really excited. Okay, the last thing I will show you, because I've shown you this every single year, I have my planner somewhat set up for 2026, so I thought I'd share it with you. This year, I always go with a Sterling Ink planner. Now that I've tried it, I have not gone away from them. I think this is my 3rd or 4th year with Sterling Ink. I used to be an affiliate with them. She does like a 1-year affiliate rotation, and I loved being an affiliate for her. I also used to get her monthly stickers, have just decided not to do that because I had so many of them. But this year she came out with a new planner called the Complete Planner, and this just has a clear cover over it because you can't see, I don't know how to show you this color well. It's a really pretty blush pink, which that is not typically my color scheme. I would have gone with the black one, or she's like a black gray one, but they were already sold out when I got to it. So the thing I love most about this is the Complete Planner. It is pretty thick. This is the A5 size. The thing that I love the most about this is when you open it, it has like really good goal pages, like by quarter. So like here's Q3, and it breaks it down for you, like what are your priorities for July, August, and September. And then like you can use this as a habit tracker. But then when you go to the month, so let me show you. So here's the beginning of January. It's just like a normal month layout. whoops. Then I'm gonna flip. Here's my week. Okay. And then right after my week, I have 7 pages that are daily. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, and it'll go through that. And then it'll start over with my, well, let me find it, with my week. I'm gonna sneeze. I really am trying not to. So after that, here's the 5th is a Monday. So then it starts over. Here's my week. And then when I turn this, it's gonna be the 5th and 6th. I would go through that whole week, and then here's the next. So I just love this layout. I'm very excited about that. So Sterling ink. This one, the complete planner, is a hardback. It's, I believe it's the only one that's hardback. In the past, I have used, I've used her common planner for 2 or 3 years now. The first, oh no, I think I did it the first year too. I think this is my 4th year. So I really like Sterling ink a lot. So definitely want to check out. Okay, friends, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me in the hive. I really appreciate it. If you have not watched it yet, check out our Christmas Village video that I just posted for my dad. Once a year, I put our Christmas Village video up so my dad can really show off his Christmas Village. This year was really, really special. We, as a Christmas gift to him, surprised him. My husband and I planned a whole open house. He had no idea. I invited so many friends and family, and we opened the village for 2 hours. We strung lights up and down the driveway. We had hot chocolate and cookies. We had Mr. and Mrs. Claus there, which was great. My parents know in their church they have a real life Santa and Mrs. Claus, and so they volunteered to come and sit in the freezing cold weather. It was, of course, that week that it was like that polar vortex. We had a bonfire going with our projector screen. Our oldest set up his projector with A Christmas Story playing, and then we did a big unveiling of the Christmas Village, and people got to walk through it all night. So that video is the Christmas Village that my dad has done. It has over 200 buildings, well over 200 accessories. It's got a lot of fun detail. Go watch that video. In the background, you will hear I set up my tripod with my phone and had everybody film like a digital guest book. And so I took all the audio from that and embed it into the video, which was really fun to hear like what everybody's favorite parts were. So go watch that video. It's really fun. We really enjoyed making that for him and having that night. I think one of the biggest surprises to him, my mom thought of it the day before. She reached out to our local newspaper, the Daily Journal, and they came and took pictures and did interviews. And it was a Tuesday night, and he said, "Hey, on Thursday, it'll be in the paper." And so we go to the gas station on Thursday to get a paper, and Nathan walks in. I stay in the car with the kids, and Nathan walks in, and he like slams it on the door of the gas station, which we frequent that gas station. And I was like, "What are you doing? Like, of course we're not going to be on the front paper. Did you think we were?" And then he comes out with a giant stack of papers, and he was like, "Kia, we're the front 2 pages. We're the front page, and then when you open it, that whole page is the story too," which was so heartwarming and fun. So if you would like to look at the newspaper article, you can just, I guess you could just Google, "It Takes a Village, a Family Bonds Over Christmas Tradition," and it is in the Daily Journal in Johnson County, Indiana. So it was really fun. My dad was shocked. He pulled up and was like, "What are we doing?" So we had like 100 people come in and out. It was such a magical night and so fun to like watch him show off his hard work, because that takes hours and hours and hours, and he had been setting up since September. So it was really fun. Anyway, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. If you're doing 12 by 12 plans, let me know. If you're doing something fun like a live stream or like a Zoom room or anything, let me know. I'd love to pop in those. And happy stitching, everyone. Thank you for joining me in the hive.